Okay, I gotta address something when it comes to the image that I just showed you. You can go back, pause it, examine it if you want, because I'm gonna be talking a lot about it. This is an image I've been seeing shown around as, hey, you know what? Batman's not a bully. Batman loves kids. He comforts kids. Here's him just playing with a young child while the Justice League go off and do their thing in the background. This is Batman. And while I agree with all that, the statement as if your Batman can't comfort a troubled child, then he's just a bad version of the Punisher. I agree with all that, absolutely. The problem is that's not what's happening in this image. This image is from Justice League Pain of the Gods. I believe it's written by Grant Morrison. It might be wrong on that, but it's a really great book. One of my favorites. I got that early on in my comic book collecting career, and I still read it. And it's basically an issue about the Justice League dealing with grief and stuff that they can't stop, that they can't control. And in the beginning of the book, Superman is fighting a fire, and another hero shows up to help. But unfortunately, the other hero dies in the fire. And, Superman is, of course, racked with guilt, because he couldn't help save a fellow superhero. And, he doesn't really know what to do. So he ends up, like, following the kid around of the man who died, and the kid's upset with Superman because in his eyes he let his dad die, which is understandable for a kid to do. But while Superman is following the son and making sure that he's safe, and he doesn't even really know why he's doing it, at that moment he sees that the son has superpowers as well. The son starts doing stuff that is obviously well out of his ability to do without him, and so they go back and they talk to the mom, which is where this scene starts. The Justice League are all talking to the mother, except for Batman, who's playing with the kid. And I remember when I saw this, I'm like, why is Batman doing that? It was like, if anything, Batman's the investigative one. He should be asking the questions. But the Justice League were, and they're all like, well, you said your husband got this from like a meteor crashing at his campsite. Why didn't you say that your son was there as well? And she's like, well, he didn't show any powers. He didn't show that he had any abilities like that. And, she's kind of giving them the runaround. And Batman is playing blocks with his kid. But he's not really playing. Like, he gives it to her, but he won't let it go. He's, like, hanging on to it. And she's getting more and more frustrated. She's like, give it to me, give it to me. And then she crushes the block, this wooden block, with her bare hands, revealing that she also has powers and also showing that the mom's lying and that they were all on that trip and they all got powers together. And it was so Batman's using a child's impatience at that moment. That's what it was all about. The Justice League says, why did you do that? He's like, well, because she's obviously not in control of her powers yet, if she had any, and that was the best way to find out.